If we see a blemish in God, don't matter how bad we want to trust Him, we won't. Right?
Yeah. We just won't.
And so He's got a wicked system set up because He got death in the world. We encounter death all the time. What do you think we think when we encounter it?
Well, fear, condemnation, mostly fear. But like you said, that precious thing that I have is being threatened, and I don't want it to be threatened.
Yeah. Where's God?
Where's God? Right. What did I do wrong?
Why have you forsaken me, God?
That's right.
I mean, the second something bad happens, isn't that the first thing you think?
Yeah, why am I being punished?
Why am I being... Right. You see all those thoughts?
Yeah.
Where do you think those thoughts come from?
The serpent.
The serpent. When I thought my dad was going to punish me when he got home, my mom is very meek. You guys have heard my mom. She's very meek. So she would try to discipline us, but at some point she was just like, all right, I'm telling Larry what happened when he come home. And so when Dad come home, man, we knew. Now listen, when Dad came home and we knew there was punishment in his loins towards us, do you think we came to Dad?
No.
Yeah. No.
No. We ran and hid. We got the hell away from that guy. He's going to punish us.
My mom always said, you just wait until your dad gets home.
Exactly.
Oh, I can't wait.
Now, if we interpret the punishment, if we interpret what happens to us in this world as punishment from God, do you think we're going to God with our life? Or is that causing us to be more and more distant from God? More and more hardened, more and more frustrated, more and more like, why have you forsaken me? What did Jesus say on the cross? My God, why have you forsaken me?
Right.
Do you know why He said that?
Yes.
Because that's the song that was in every human's heart. And why was that song in our hearts? Because all of us had encountered death and destruction in the earth. We had all had things gone wrong. We had all been smacked in the face. We'd all been stolen from, lied to, beat up on, bruised. We'd all suffered loss. We'd all had things go the wrong way. We'd all seen things that weren't born from life. And we all wondered, why is this happening? God, as if God's responsible. That's the carnal mind. That's the devilish mind. That's the mind Satan brought into the earth when he brought death into the earth.
Right.
Because it causes all those thoughts. And it's with the intent to keep us from trusting God. So Jesus embodies our darkness on the cross. So we could see ourselves in Him. Right?
Yes.
We see ourselves in Him.
Right.
And what do we see? Did God nail Jesus to a tree? Did God nail Jesus to the tree?
No.
He didn't he? In fact, Isaiah said that Jesus carried our griefs and our sorrows. He goes on to describe that as we were the ones that smote Him and struck Him. It says He was smitten and stricken by man.
Right.
That's our griefs and our sorrows. We were filled with grief and sorrow. God came into the earth to save us, and we nailed God to a tree. And then we said, God did it. So we looked at what was happening to Jesus, and we judged it to be at the hands of God.
Yeah.
God must be the one doing that. We all think every time something bad happens to us that God's directly involved.
Yes.
That He's the one doing it, or He's the one letting it happen.
Right.
And the moment you make that determination is the moment your heart will struggle to rest in God, and it's the moment you'll be going about to preserve your own life without even knowing it. Because you're not going to be benign. You're not going to be in a neutral zone. It's one or the other. You're either going to be resting in God to preserve your life, or you're going to be resting in yourself to preserve your life. Because you ain't going to be kosher with your life not being preserved.
Right.
You ain't just going to sit there and say, well, we don't know who's going to take care of my life, and so I'll just sit here. No. You're looking to someone to care for your life.
Yes.
The serpent wants to convince you the death he's beating you with is on account of God.
Right.
God not being as He ought to be. God isn't a good father. After all, look.
Yeah.
How can you trust Him with your life? Look.
Yeah.
Right? And so Jesus steps into that so we could see what's really going on. It wasn't God that nailed Him to a tree.
Yeah.
Who raised Jesus from the dead? God. Who saved Jesus from death? Who showed up when Jesus needed Him? God.
Right.
Right? Who preserved Jesus' life? God. Even when he was what? In sin and death.
Right.
And so Jesus had a different idea in his mind. This death that entered the world ain't on account of God. It's not on account of God.
Right. He knew that from the very beginning.
Oh yeah.
He knew that before he even came to earth.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
He is the Word.
Yeah.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
The Word about what? The Word about God.
Yeah.
That's a good father.
Right.
That's what the serpent convinced Adam and Eve of. You lack, and God lacks too. God is holding something back from you.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.